and also changing rules years and years and years ago about marking the ball and that sort of stuff that we don't have in rugby league anymore, because you want to discourage all the kicking.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it, but we'll see.
Let's hope it's just an enjoyable gimmick for the Nines tournament, which is itself an enjoyable gimmick.
And finally, Gareth Hock has retired from rugby league with immediate effect. The 35-year-old played 6 games for Leigh since rejoining the club back in May, but retired due to his body not letting him play how he wants. Hock made a total of 313 career appearances, scoring 81 tries. He played for his hometown club Wigan, Widnes, Salford, Featherstone, Barrow and Leigh. The back rower earned 4 caps for Great Britain and 5 for England. Tom Andrews got in touch and said, could have been the best forward in the world if his head wasn't held on by several loose screws. Total head case, entertaining to watch there. And Joshua's granddad said, a throwback to the old school enforcer. In his prime, a forward to scare most packs. Unfortunately, those days were long gone and he's turned into a pantomime villain.
I think he turned himself into a pantomime villain, didn't he, as well, in those same early days. Look, we've talked long and hard about his autobiography, The Real Me. It's probably, we've talked about it longer than it takes to read it. You could probably write the follow-up in the amount of time that he was a Barrow Raiders player, which was no game minutes. But so I don't understand how he played for Barrow on that list.
Because he was on their books.
Yeah, I can't remember him actually getting on the field. Maybe he got in the field on the field in a pre-season friendly, but he was an entertaining player in his prime. He certainly had so many skills. When I remember watching him come through as a young kid at Wigan, and the way he carried the ball, you didn't see too many established players carrying the ball that way, and he was always looking for contact and offloads, and he was a very exciting player who had a great deal of talent. Sadly, he is going to go down as one of those players who probably wasted his talent because he missed the prime years of his career and then never quite settled properly after that. But he had some fantastic moments, both good bits of skill and good bits of fights. Let's not take that out of his game altogether, because we do like a bit of biff every now and again. And he started one of the best brawls at a Magic weekend, I think, against St Helens. I think it was Lafranchi he got all up close and personal with. So yeah, I'll always have fond memories of him as a player. He was one of my favourite players when he was first coming through. There'll always be that niggle, won't there? Wasted talent, but what a talent it was to have watched. Even if he was a bit screw loose, like Tom said. Right, that's all our news. We're now going to go and look at round 23 of Super League. Super League round 23 then, we had an average attendance this weekend of 7,187, which means it's the 16th ranked out of the 22 regular rounds, just by one. So there was one round had 7,186. So it's down there in the lower end anyway of average attendances this week. And we start with a game that I would say was down on what you'd expect attendance wise, but actually for Wigan versus Wakefield over recent years, this was a successful crowd of 10,203. Robert Hicks was the referee. He did a lot of pointing to the spot. As Wigan ran out 46 points to 16 winners. It was 34-0 at half-time. It was all over at half-time. I'm sure lots of people didn't watch the second half, where Wakefield won the second half, so credit to them for actually finally turning up. Wakefield were under 1,000 metres and below 90% team tackle success rate, so a big loss is what they would expect. Wigan made 532 more metres at 1.7 metres per carry, better average game, with 11 breaks to 4 to secure a comprehensive win. Individually, Liam Farrell, 3 tries, 1 try assist, 8 tackle busts, 160 metres, 3 clean breaks. Have I ever mentioned I love Liam Farrell? Oliver Gildart, captain in this game as well. Farrell captain for Wigan. That's a winning combination. Ollie Gildart, 1 try, 168 metres. Zach Hardacre, 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts and 126 metres as he finally seems to be recovering some consistent form both in attack as well as the solid defence he puts up. And Jared Samet with a try and 119 metres, getting a rare start for him. For the losing Trin side, Reece Lynn, 120 metres and 3 successful offloads. James Batchelor, 41 tackles. And Kalepi Tanganoa, who was definitely the pick of the players for Wakefield. He was the only player who looked like he was trying in the first half. 5 tackle busts, 121 metres and 3 successful offloads. Fan views, not many.
Nope.
Uninspiring game, I suppose, but do you want to give us the first one?
Yep, so Alan, Shoddy and Munger said Waking might just be the worst team in Super League right now. They need to pull their finger out or a 4-point cushion might not be enough.
It's 2 now, isn't it? POB 1976 said Wigan just too good for a poor Wakefield side. Some great tries from both sides, but Wakefield lacking strength in depth.
Yep, and Joshua's granddad said solid performance by the Pies. Fortunately, they now have 2 weeks rest to prepare for their next game.
Strength in depth when it comes to Wakefield. Who were they missing? They were missing Tom Johnston, obviously, and Ashurst, obviously, and that's 2 great players who were in the dream team last year and all of that. But other than Tinarawa Rona, this was close to their starting lineup. I mean, shirt numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all played. That's Wigan had more people out, I would argue. So yeah, I suppose that does suggest a lack of strength in depth for Trinity, but also a poor performance by some of the frontline players. The fact that the coach had to ask them at half time if they actually cared, which is something that the fans on the terrace have been asking for a few weeks as well of Wakefield. I think that shows everything. Liam Farrell's walk-in try to get the game started. Wigan won a penalty, and then the first attack had a walk-in try. They got up the field the next time, walk-in try. It wasn't hard for Wigan to score some of their tries, even though some of the tries were also very good. The 2 tries Wigan scored in the second half were probably the best tries Wigan scored. It's probably because Wakefield actually played with a modicum of intensity that is befitting of a professional rugby league team, let alone a Super League rugby league team, because in the first half they didn't deliver on that at all. So yeah, I'd love to be sat here talking about how amazing Wigan were, and I do think Wigan were good, but I thought Wakefield were absolutely horrible in this game.
Yeah, I only saw a little bit of it, so I can't comment too much, but when I switched it on it was 18-0, so that sort of reflects.
You know, I had a few conversations with people over the weekend who had the same experience of they were just a little bit late to get into the game and it was already gone.
Yep.
Yeah, star players from this game, obviously for Wigan, Liam Farrell was brilliant, particularly his third try, his hat-trick try, but his all-around performance was very good too. And George Williams had a number of try assists. He was very scheming in this game. He was looking across the whole pitch. He was putting in a lot of different stuff, and he wasn't just resorting to kicks and those sorts of things. He was everywhere really for Wigan. It didn't hurt that Wakefield played with no intensity, but Wigan were playing with a really young pack for the majority of this game. Oliver Partington had one of his best games in a Wigan shirt, I think. Morgan Smithies continues to impress. Ethan Havard off the bench. Liam Byrne came off the bench too. But Ethan Havard off the bench, I think, has jumped up the pecking order. He was very solid when he came on. Only young, only 18, so probably won't see him too many times in the first team. But certainly, I'm confident that we've got another star for the future in that young man. In terms of highlight moments, I think the other young, huge human being that came off the bench, Liam Byrne, I don't understand how a 19-year-old is that size. I don't understand how anyone's that size. He's massive. His hit on Paulie, that was right up there as a highlight moment for me, especially after he'd been rollocked from the carry from the kickoff from Paulie. The fact that he got up and next time around putting a big hit, I think is just a testament to the character of the young kid. Noteworthy, deserves a note certainly, is Hampshire's second try for Trinity. That was well worked. He showed his great turn of pace. I mean, Hankinson on the wing for Wigan, it was no contest pace-wise there, but it's still a very nice piece of play for them. Farrell's hat-trick try, I've already mentioned that. That was very good team play by Wigan and very nice work by Williams as well as Farrell. I think Farrell was thinking he might need to pass. He was sort of looking around when he first got the ball, and Williams just pointed at the corner and said, "Run!" So he got his hat-trick, which was fantastic. But it's got to be Gildart's 100-metre effort for me. That's the highlight moment of this game. Now, you could argue that he, first of all, only had to beat a tired forward, but the fact that he took the ball... When the ball was passed to him, he was on his own try line, and he saw that space out wide, made the play, and was able to beat the effort from Max Jowett coming across, and then stroll the last 40 metres. I just think it was a fantastic run. Absolutely exemplifies that this is a world-class talent we've got in our competition, and sadly I expect him to not be in our competition in over 2 seasons' time, because that's what happens to Wigan players. But Oliver Gildart, I think, is world-class, and this was another example of it.
But only 100 metres he ran.
Yeah, but he had to beat 2 people, so he didn't only have to jump through one line of defence, he had to beat 2 people. We
have wingers that run 100 plus metres to score.
Yeah, but he only had to beat 1 person, and then he was in the clear. Look, Rasu no longer, I'm not taking anything away from him, and I'm sure I covered him as a highlight moment too, but this was Oliver Gildart's moment, so don't take it away.
All right.
But now you can talk about Friday night's game, and was there any highlight moments from that one, as it was Hull KR versus Huddersfield?
Yeah, I'm not convinced there really were. So it finished Hull KR 12, Huddersfield 18, despite being 6-6 at half-time. There were 7,733 in the ground, which is a decent turnout.
I've got to say, Rovers, just like you guys, the Hull fans, both sides of the city, come out in numbers.
Yeah, I actually was quite impressed with the number of Huddersfield fans that it looked like were there.
Good camera work.
More than at some matches. And Ben Thaler was the referee. The stats say that Huddersfield were good value for their win, with only a 10-8 loss on penalties conceded. 350 more metres, 1.3 metres per carry better average gain, 4 more breaks, better team tackle success, and 7 fewer errors made. Individually, Jerry McGilvery with 1 try, 5 tackle busts and 157 metres. Leigh Gaskell with 2 try assists, 7 tackle busts, 127 metres and 3 clean breaks. Akuma Tai with 142 metres and 2 clean breaks. And Innes Senior with 128 metres. For Rovers, Rob Mulhern with 54 tackles, of which 18 were marker tackles, and 107 metres.
Solid effort.
Yeah. Daniel Murray with 43 tackles, and 10 of those were marker tackles. Ben Crooks with 6 tackle busts and 113 metres, and George Lawler with 43 tackles. Good tackling numbers there, aren't there?
Yeah, but you look at the other side and they had obviously big numbers in attack, which is what you're more looking for, I think, and that's kind of the story of this one. For 18-12, actually, with them stats you read out for Huddersfield, you would have expected maybe a bigger win, so it kind of paints a picture of where both sides are in their performance levels at the moment. And let's see what the fans made of it. We start with Attila Murphy, who said, "Say what you like about relegation, it made a dead rubber between 2 blah teams compelling. That or Wolford's in-game breakdown and facial tics are box office." Yeah, that's without a doubt. Giants had more energy in metres, but even still, KR lost Linnett for the second. But still even, KR lost Linnett for the second half, maybe the difference. Hud's doing their usual late charge for 5th, helped by their kindergarten students. KR hoping Danny Ward doesn't have any more tricks up his sleeve.
Yep, and then an unknown person.
Question mark. That's all they put. They actually put a question mark on the form.
Well, I figured they must have done, because you have to put something, don't you?
Yeah.
Said, Hull KR are wankers, pass it on.
Was that you?
It wasn't me. I don't use language like that.
Joshua's granddad said, poor Huddersfield performance, too good for an even poorer Dobbin side. In a game crying out for a touch of class, honest endeavour from the Huddersfield front row was enough to see them home. Rovers key man, Maguire, Drinkwater and Quinlan all anonymous. Tony Smith better get back into the loan market.
Yep, and Tom Andrews said, was it Warrington's fault? Was it Saint's fault? Nah, we were just shy. Passes to